Hello, my name is Bryant Miles, and in this video I'll explain my real-time landscape architect assignment for my Hort 120 class and how I worked with this software. Much like in Dynascape and AutoCAD, Real-Time Landscape Architect uses a similar method involving importing the background image and scaling the image to the proper size. Using this is great for drawing objects in the correct scale and being able to properly visualize the size of the objects. Once the background image has been imported into the drawing, it was then moved to the proper layer, as this keeps everything organized and prevents confusion. The three main workplaces are the plan view, the perspective view, and the walkthrough view. The plan view is a top-down 2D view of the drawing and is useful for the larger regions such as the planting beds, the lawn, the walkways, the house, and the patios and porches. The plan view is also where you place the viewpoints and the final plant list when you finish the drawing. You can also use this view to place the shrubs and trees, but I personally prefer to use the perspective view to get a better sense of the scale of the trees and shrubs. The perspective view is a 3D view that you can move and pan around the drawing with, as well as use the features that can also be used in the plan view. This is also a feature that is unique to Real-Time Landscape Architect. The walkthrough view is fantastic for demonstrating how the spaces work, how the plants work with each other, and what the scale of everything is. It's a great tool for selling designs to clients. It's similar to the perspective view as it's 3D, but is much more cinematic as the time of day can be changed and animations will be applied to objects like fire, candle, or water features. The time settings are also a great feature as you can demonstrate lighting plans for gardens at night. This allows you to display the fire pits in a natural environment. Now, there are also two different types of walkthroughs. There's a free roam one, which you can just wander around the landscape and look at the designs. The second one involves the camera pass. I will go into more detail about the cameras later on. Real-Time Landscape Architect has a wide selection of site amenities. They state on their website that they have 17,000 design items included and 7,400 plants, and you can always import more models from other websites like SketchUp's 3D Warehouse. Real-Time also has the ability to rename and change the color of various objects to get them to look as realistic as possible in the landscape. They have everything from chairs and tables to cars and detailed water fountains or placemats for dining. These features add scale, style, and purpose to the design. There are also many plants, hardscape objects, and patterns to choose from as well. The object-specific tools are another unique feature to Real-Time Landscape Architect that are made for designing specific areas. There's a generic region tool that is used for the mulch, planting beds, and the lawn spaces. The regions conform to the terrain of the area they are placed on. The patio tool is used for the hardscape spaces. It has a preloaded pattern and pavers and even has a few notable brands of hardscape material included. The difference between the two is that the patio tool does not conform to the terrain. It also has a preset height of 2 inches and has a border that can be turned on and off. Another tool is the fence tool, which is a linear tool that automatically places a fence, and the material can be changed to fit the aesthetic of the landscape, as well as adding gates that can swing open or closed. The deck tool allows decks to be easily built by drawing the perimeter and editing the style, height, and railings. Another tool is the house tool. When using this tool, you have to divide the house into separate areas to then combine them together into the house you see now. All of these tools help speed up the process of building, as well as adding style and customization to the landscape. Now, for the plant tools. In Real-Time Landscape Architect, the first plant tool is the singular plant tool. This just places one individual plant and is useful if you need to place one plant. I use this on most of the individual trees as well as some of the shrubs. This tool also allows you to interchange plants easily if you need to. The second tool is the plant fill. This one we did not use for this plan as there is no need to, but if all it does is fills an area with plants. This will be useful for putting in ground cover or a bed of perennials. The third and final tool is the plant row tool. This is a tool I use very frequently throughout the drawing as it allows you to place multiple plants in a row rather than having to place individual plants. The spacing and quantity of the plants can be edited to fit the area or match the plan. Another helpful feature is the plant list, which is automatically generated and placed in the plan view. It creates a complete list of all the plants with their names, quantities, and the icons or colors that correspond with them. Viewpoints are a real-time landscape screenshot feature. A viewpoint is a set view from the walkthrough tab that is saved and can be loaded into the exact view. When in the viewpoint, the environment settings can be changed and then screenshots can be taken. These can then be saved and imported onto the plan view to highlight certain areas of the design. Now, for the camera tool, you can place them into the drawing and have them follow a path you set up. You can change the height and the angle of the camera to focus on certain aspects of the drawing. You are also able to change the time as the camera moves through the landscape. You can see these on the ePortfolio page. There's a day camera path, a night camera path, and a full path that goes through the day and night cycle. When comparing Real-Time Landscape Architect with AutoCAD and Dynascape, it seems a lot more in-depth compared to the other two. There are more features, and it is an industry-specific software. It takes both AutoCAD and Dynascape a step further with its 3D design element, but if you compare them on a 2D plane, they are all relatively similar. Realtime does have a little bit more going on with all of its different shapes and colors in the plan view, but all three share the same basic 2D tools, but once again, Realtime's 3D capabilities set it apart from all the others. The built-in object library that both Realtime and Dynascape have set it apart from AutoCAD, but Realtime's library is much bigger than Dynascape. The ability to import objects is something that Realtime has, but not Dynascape. The house tool that Realtime has is different from AutoCAD's and Dynascape's simple 2D layout, as they have no need for a tool, and you can just place your lines around the layout of the house rather than having to separate the house up. In Realtime, everything has to be drawn from the ground up due to the 3D aspect of the software and the hierarchy of the layers so they do not overlay each other. Realtime is also a great software from a cost perspective, as this is a one-time payment deal. This concludes my project on Real-Time Landscape Architect. Thank you so much for watching.